First question. So what we have, as you see our first question, you can also use the law of odd mass. So we're gonna start inside the brackets. So you're gonna multiply inside the 2, so it's going to be negative 2 to the power 2 a 3 times 2 using our laws, then plus, so a12, so we're gonna take out our square root and write it in as exponent form, so it's going to be a12 times 1 over 2 using our rules that we defined before. Then proceeding, we're going to have minus 3, in which here is going to be negative 2 times 2, which is going to be 4 times a to the exponent of 6, therefore plus a to the exponent of 6, and it's now equals to, adding these two is going to equate to 5a to the exponent of 6, in which multiplying by 3 is going to be minus 15a to the power of 6. That's our first question, how we solve it using the rules. Okay, now doing our second question, we're still going to use the same rules, the laws we defined before. So multiplying inside the brackets on top is going to be a times 4n minus 1 times a 2 times negative 3n, also times b minus 3n over multiplying negative 2 inside a times b is going to be a negative to the power of negative 2n b times b to the negative power of 2n, and also times b to the negative power of n. So simplifying, we're going to have a 4n minus 4 times a negative 6n times b negative 3n to the power of negative 3n, and also a to the power of negative 2n times b to the power of negative 2n times b negative to the power of negative n. So when you have a situation like this, you're gonna separate your a and your b powers. So you're going to use the same rules of dividing, where when you're dividing you subtract, when you multiplication you add, when you're multiplying you add. So you're going to take a and group all these powers together. So it's going to be 4n minus 4. We have multiplication, so it's going to be plus negative 6n, negative 6n. When you go below, it's going to be negative times negative 2n. This is all for a. Then when you go to b, it's going to be b to the power of negative 3n, negative 2n, since it's dividing, also negative n. So below you're going to have a 4n negative 4, then you're going to have negative 6n plus 2n. Also this side for b is going to be negative 3n to the power negative or plus 2n, also to the power of plus n. So basically 2n plus 4n is 6, minus 6n is going to cancel out each other. So you're gonna left with a to the power of negative 4. Here is going to be times b 3n, negative 3n plus 3n is going to be 0. So using our laws, we remember that when it's a negative exponent, you write it as a fraction where a goes below. So it's going to be 1 over a to the power 4, where b, anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. So now you're going to be left with 1 over a to the power of 4. That's how you solve our second question. Now learners, when you have a question where you have like many different bases and it seems kind of complicated to solve it and you can't see where to start so that you can simplify easier, I'd suggest you to split your bases, especially your bigger bases, into multiples of each other, where you'll get like similar bases to those ones that are already small. So as you can see, 5 and 3, you can't split them any further, but I'd suggest like 9 and 15, you can still get lower common factors that multiply each other. So how to get your factors? Let's say take 15 for example. 15, you come to your calculator, you click 15, you say equals to, then you come back again, say shift and click fact. So you'll already have 3 times 5. You know 15 is gonna have 3 times 5, which is common to 5 at the top and 3 below. The same thing for 9. You're going to say 9 equals to, then click your shift, then click fact, which is 3 times 3, 3 to the power of 2. So now you have your factors. Let's split this question so that it becomes more simpler to simplify. So now you're gonna have 5 to the power of 2n multiplied by 3 to the power of 2. Then you're going to say 2n minus 3 at the top. Then remember below it was like 3 times 5 to the power of 2n multiplied by 3 to the power of 4n minus 1. So now it's becoming more simpler to solve or simplify. So let's continue. 5 2n times 3 to the power of, so multiplying 2 times 2n is going to be 4n. Multiplying 2 with negative 3 is going to be minus 6 all over 3 to the power of 2n multiplied by 5 to the power of 2n. Also again multiply by 3 to the power of 4n minus 1. So now you have two bases where you can simplify even further so that you get your answer. So splitting them apart, you're going to say 5 to the power of 2n. Since you don't have any 5 multiplying at the top, but below you have 5 dividing with 5 to the power of 2n, you're going to minus. Remember, when you divide, you minus your powers. When you multiply, you add your powers. So it's going to be negative 2n. So for 5, you're okay. Then you multiply by 3 to the power of 4n minus 6. Since any nothing's multiplying 3 at the top, so below is going to be negative 2, and also again negative 4 and plus 1. Since it's the negative sign, when it goes, it's going to make it positive. So equals to 5 to the power of 0 multiplied by 3, in which is going to be negative 2 and plus 5. Since anything to the power of 0 is 1, this 5 is going to be 1 multiplied by 3 to the power of negative 2 and times 3 to the power of 5, in which now is going to be 3 to the power of 5 over 3 to the power of 2, and in which this is your final answer.